Howdy everyone, it's Jampot here. Yeah, excited to share a Mythbound spoiler for Once Upon a Galaxy. I've got a guest here with me, Good Digestion. Care to introduce yourself again?
Yeah. Hi, this is Good Digestion. Yeah, it's good to be here, Jampot.
Um, so unfortunately, both originally I had recorded this and I kind of bungled the recording. So GD has seen this card. We both seen it just a glance at least. So you won't see like the total new experience, but I do think that we have some pretty exciting things to say about it. So it's called Astral Navigator. It's this cool Minotaur, and let's get to the part that you're all waiting for, which is what it does. So farewell when it dies. It summons the smallest character from your starting deck and gives it +10/+10. It's a celestial animal pirate. So what do you think about this card, GD?
Yeah, so just kind of like the way I process it first is, how is it going to go in our current treasures strategy? And probably not well, right? Like we're going to be summoning Mecha Man is great, but then like summoning Miseria,
It
well, that could
seems,
be okay too, I guess, but maybe not exactly what you want to do on Legend or Epic turns.
yeah, right.
Um, but even though it's not a toy, I bet this is like a great poise card.
Um,
Just like summoning more summoners. Like, is there a way to get like a loop with Astral Navigator and like some other cards?
So there very well might be. One of the other spoiled cards, Baron Bach, actually is a very similar card. So what that one does, it's a mage and it's a rare, and when it dies, it summons a random animal from your starting deck that you have not summoned yet before, I believe. Um, and that's a 3/3. So that can summon this, or this can very easily summon that, right? So that's a pretty nice like combo and interaction that's like very scrappy at all stages of the game. Maybe it just brawls through and doesn't worry about like whether or not it can like scale with Rolo and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. Uh, um, the Benjamin Bach card, or like, is it just called Bach? Is it actually Benjamin Bach? Like
I
they
think it's
fully
called
named it after
Baron
him?
Bach.
Ah, Baron Bach, right?
Yeah.
So does that I remember seeing some discussion about that could only summon things once. Does it actually say that on the card? Or was that just like not included in the original text?
I have no idea, but somehow that seems to have been my impression of it. Um,
Yeah, like that's what I heard too. But then this, like, as far as I know, this card is worded similarly, so it makes me think that there was either some disinformation that I also helped spread
uh-oh.
about Bach, or that this card might have similar restrictions.
Listen, we're gonna find out a lot of things, and like what this can summon is definitely gonna change a lot as the rest of the things get spoiled. So, we're not gonna be talking about it perfectly. I think if we stick to like just being excited about the potential, that's still good.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, but
uh,
yeah, I can definitely see though, like, saying like this summoning into, you could get like a pretty big chain, right? Like this summons Mecha Man, which summons um, Mockingbird, which summons monkeys or something.
oh
Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, this summons. That's actually like first of all, like yeah, you can get some pretty insane chains, I bet, in individual combats if you're ready for like the setup of it. But one thing that I thought was really exciting, and we talked about this a little bit, is like I kind of like how this reminds me a little bit of Birthing Pod in Magic the Gathering, where it kind of you can have a little bit of a game plan for like where this is going to go across a couple of turns, right? Turn 7, you buy this. Turn 8, like in that fight, it summons one thing, and then the next fight, it summons the next, and then you kind of maybe have like 3 or 4 hits that you have in mind before you plan to like move it off your board. Um, I don't know. I think there's something really cool about that. Um, and there's some pretty crazy things I think that you might be able to set up with it as well. So one thing is that like Giving Tree is a 3/3, and Miss Muffet is a 1/1. Miss Muffet is also an animal, so she can be summoned by Baron as well, which is kind of cool. And they're both kind of like insane value picks, right? If this summons gets one of those, you get a ton of slot buffs stacked on your summon slot, right? Because that's where you put this in the first place. Um, you know, I don't know if it's good enough to not play Miseria and Rolo. Probably, it seems like things would have to be a little bit shaken up for that to happen, but it seems really strong to me at least. Can you think of anything like interesting or bizarre offbeat that like comes to mind?
No, I think that idea, like, I mean, I think that idea can work with kind of like the toy plan, which is probably where I think you want to see this anyways. Like, if you've got, Mecha Man, I do really like the idea of having like actual combo introduced to this, like, so setting up for uh, a giving tree and then into, summoners or whatever, which use the that slot really well, right? Um,
Eh,
And
yeah.
there's like even the Miss Muffet like works really well with that plan, and I don't know. Honestly, I think like just the introduction of this whole kind of like game styles is like the most exciting part of this card for me. I mean, besides it just being powerful. Mm. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd really love to see like people like brewing like 1, 2, 3 like follow ups for this card.
And obviously there's going to be some setups where you want to maybe you have a couple ties and you're ready to like have one turn where you miss a little bit, whether it's Miseria or something else that comes up that like it doesn't really synergize with the main game plan, but you can afford to summon it for one turn and then it, gets knocked off of the cycle, right? Then you're back on track. So it's not like you can never play anything else, right? It's just you do kind of want to not be like too far off with your like planning to go for Miss Muffet type things, right? Because that plus 25 slot bonus, you want to ASAP. You want to start being able to like multiply it and mess with it. Um,
Yeah. So you said what's the base stats of Miss Muffet? Do you remember?
it's a
Miss
1/1.
Muffet?
I think it's
It's a 1/1.
yeah, so it's like perfect for this, right? Monkeys is also kind of like interesting, right? Also a 1/1, also like, you know, works with a
Yeah.
lot of things. Um,
That also introduce like makes the like the timing of like finding Astral Navigator like really tricky too, right? Because like say you get it on turn 7, even if you have monkeys and Muffet in your deck, like it's gonna summon the Giving Tree first, right? Well, I guess probably the
no,
Mecha Man first, but
it's still gonna summon
just because it
Muppet
can't
first, right?
so,
Because it's the smallest one.
but you can't summon legendaries until you're on legendary turns.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, yeah, I mean, I think that's the plan, right? Is that you want to like get these things set up for it, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. So what I'm saying though is it like works better if you find that Astral Navigator early, but then if you like find a Navigator on turn 9, like you're gonna be summoning like the monkeys or the Muffet first before your Giving Tree, which also that's not necessarily terrible, right? You get some base stats to
well,
like
Muffet first is
further,
actually way better, right? Like for Giving Tree.
yeah,
Um, I
no,
think that's
definitely, and yeah, and if you're already summoning like, say even if you take it turn 8, if you do have the Mecha Man in your deck, like you're gonna summon that before the Giving Tree anyways, so you even have like a turn of leeway to really like make your combo a little bit more consistent.
and maybe there are gonna be games where like you make a decision actively based off of that. Because Mega Man and this guy could just sit, like on either side of a support, right? Or like each one getting a boost from a support, and
Yeah,
you could decide to like leave the Mega Man on board so that you can,
that
skip
you
it
don't summon it.
and then you
Yeah.
can always take it off later because it's a good summon to have access to and like I mean that's another thing like you can even like bank things by keeping them on board if you really want to. I don't know, it's a weird mechanic. I really like it.
Yeah, it definitely like introduces a lot of like nuance and stuff. But it also requires probably a pretty good understanding of shot mechanics. Like this is probably a card that like has a really big learning curve. I mean, big even for like experienced players, but massive for like newer players who don't fully understand how summons and stuff are functioning.
Oh yeah, I bet it's I mean I think that in some ways some of us are gonna like occasionally make mistakes with that with like your golds and silvers or whatever.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what this does as gold?
I don't, but I'm kind of hoping that it's like the Mockingbird and what's its Mecha Man school of like summoning two characters rather than to summon a character and give it a bigger buff, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but
My guess is it's 2020, but I hope the same as you. Like I want two characters.
I mean, I like what's exciting about two characters beyond the fact that it's like better and this card seems sweet and I want to play it, um, is that it lets you like cycle through the entire chain a little bit more realistically, right? Like if you have just, like no hope of, you just it's just unrealistic to do if you if it's always one a turn, right? to go through all of your starting deck. But I think you can maybe do it, including the characters that are in play if it summons two.
Yeah. Um,
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, it depends. Like, I guess how you build your deck, right? Because like, there's a plenty of like times where you know Mega Man's base stats is going to be 10 smaller than say like I don't know. Maybe you're playing a Burninator, right? Like Burninator's going to be bigger like than Mega Man probably for like the whole game, unless you're actually like hitting it with Mixos or something like that.
no, that's true. That's completely true because like I do believe that these things are like they just count their stats as if they showed up. Actually, I have no idea, right? Like, do they count the stats as if they showed up in shop? Surely not, right? Because if you summon off of Mega Man, it doesn't have your shop buffs like automatically until you've
Yeah, no, it
purchased it.
would. Yeah, if you've never purchased it, it will not pick up any of the shop buffs.
But it will know like treasure hoard stats and stuff like that.
Um, Treasure hoard from like your treasures,
Yeah,
like
cause
say
well,
a
cause you
dragon
mentioned
crown.
Burninator, right? And like this is gonna
Yeah,
summon Burninator real quick if it doesn't like count the treasure hoard. But if it does count the treasure
I'm
hoard,
pretty sure it should look at Burninator's stats. I mean, that's just kind of like a static like you know ability of that card.
all right. Well, I
But
mean,
I mean,
stuff like this
obviously,
we'll
I can't say
discover,
for
yeah,
certain.
soon
Yeah.
enough. But I think again, like the fact that these things matter is kind of like crazy. Like it's exciting for what this like. I don't know. I really hope that cards like this are like not just like playable, but like I hope they don't have to be broken to be playable. And I think that this could be broken, or it could be junk, or it could be like sweet and like anywhere in between. It's really exciting to kind of like have no idea which one of those it is.
Yeah, no, definitely. Um, how do you think this like will work with like the other toy supports? Like so Blue Fairy and Chip are like pretty common like toy supports to get added into this strategy.
Mhm.
Obviously Chip is going to be terrible. You really don't want to be summoning Chip. But what about something like Blue Fairy? Do you think that'll like function pretty well with this card, or it'll just be?
I'm not sure what the point would be of summoning Blue Fairy, like, because you're summoning it, like, you're not going to summon it to the backline supporting anything, right? So you're just giving it plus 10
I mean, you
plus 10.
probably would, right? Like if you were paying attention and you're like, okay, next is going to be Blue Fairy. Then you just move the Astral Navigator to the back that turn.
It
I
just
mean, it's
seems,
still, I guess it's not supporting anything then, unless it's going to get sniped by like a fox or something.
yeah, I feel like there's like, that seems pretty next level play. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I, I think if you somehow ended up in a situation where like you were fine, I don't know, with like, I don't know, I'm not sure. It doesn't really make sense to me, but I don't think it needs to.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying to play the Blue Fairy because you want to summon it. I'm saying because like you want it in your summons deck,
Mm.
and it's just kind of like a drawback, right? Like if it's not in play, one of these days you're gonna be forced to summon the stupid Blue Fairy, and it's just gonna be like a bad hit.
Yeah, I
But it's
think that
otherwise like an important card for the strategy, right?
I'm not sure. Like Blue Fairy is quite good, but I don't think it's necessary for it. I mean, this thing's an animal, right? So it loves like it plays nice with Guardian. Um, and it is also a celestial, which helps you find Guardian, which is kind of cute. Um, but you can peppers onto it perhaps. Oh no, that's not going to do anything. It's an animal and a pirate. Those are such common types. I'm overthinking it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think that it necessarily has to like slot in with Blue Fairy, and I think in fact, like you say, like the awkwardness is makes me disinclined to run both together. Um, but I think I mean, like Mop is in the base pool. There's Guardian in the base pool. There's ways to make summons work without needing to add these like other things. And maybe it's also okay, again, like I said, like okay to like have it in your deck, and if you hit it once during your cycle, that's fine. Because of course, once you find these things and put them on board, then they're not getting summoned, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like multiple ways you could play this. Like, I mean, you don't have to go, all summons, even though, I mean, like, yeah, if even if you just have Mecha Man, like that's probably enough for this guy to be a really big powerhouse. But then you could also just, maybe dedicate four, like make this a four card package or something, right? And then just kind of do your normal treasure stuff. Well, treasure stuff probably without a Rolo, I guess. But
Yeah, that's kind of what
Um,
I'm excited for actually with it. Isn't so much going all in on the toys. It's like summoning is just good, right? Like how often do you buy a Mockingbird just because it's like a reasonable brawler, right? Um, so like I like the idea of like having a thing that functions and then like if you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of like universal power from your like deck slots, you can maybe get like some back end, I don't know, like engine going a little bit with like a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch or something. Um,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, anyway, so let's, yeah, I think, do you have anything more to say? I don't have anything to say about it being a pirate. As far as I know, that doesn't matter yet, but maybe,
Yeah, I mean, Yuck was saying the other day that he really wants to get more supports for pirates. I mean, it looks like animals are really the the tribe that's getting the biggest bump, but I wonder if that means there's going to be more strong pirates going forward.
yeah, we'll have to see. Anyway, 3 types is good. Always like surprising how often that matters with like Kraken, just for like chain of camaraderie and stuff like that. Um, so
Chain,
you
yeah,
never know. KO star sometimes, like you just
yeah,
having types does come up. I think we're kind of getting to the limits of what we can talk about without like seeing the rest of the set, but I'm really excited. Thanks for talking about it.
yeah. No, I'm really excited for this card too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.